Welcome back, everyone. This is Desiree DJ DMC here, broadcasting out of the KSSU studio here at Sacramento State University. I'm so happy to be back in the studio here this Wednesday with the show 916 RUN. This week, I have a special guest. He's a community leader. He's also an activist and helps facilitate the growth of men through men's meetings, community fellowships, as well as resources in the local community and the Bay Area. Rob G., please introduce yourselves to the wonderful people.
Yes, my name is Robert, and I am really grateful to be here, man. And it feels like really accomplished for someone to even ask for me to share my story and where I am in life today. So I am a young man born and raised in Oakland, California. I had the opportunity to move out of Oakland to Union City for a while and get some good exposure to different ways of life, which allowed me to, I believe, to be a little more rounded than the average gentleman in Oakland. And that's not to say Oakland isn't rounded. Oakland is extremely diverse, extremely diverse.
Yes.
If you pay attention to East 14th, you are being misled. You need to pay attention to the entire scope of Oakland, California. It's a lot going on, a lot of good people coming out, and thanks again for having me.
Of course, Rob. When I decided to do the second iteration of the show, I had a few key figures in mind. You were definitely one of them.
Thank you.
Of course, not only for your voice in the community, I wanted the 916 RUN podcast to be about people who influence others directly and indirectly through their words and their way of life. And I feel strongly that you do that according to various principles and ideologies that you and I have learned over time. And I sincerely wanted to bring that to the local Sacramento area. So again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And so, yes, please. One of the things that I truly honored about knowing you over the years is some of the work that you do with the men's groups and the formerly incarcerated. Can you please give us any of your experience in that regard?
Oh, well, so I have to lead with this. In order for me to be helpful for the formerly incarcerated individuals, I think I speak from a position of being there myself at one time.
Understood.
So it's not, it's like if I'm trying to help an individual with drug addiction, I don't speak to them from a notebook or a textbook, right? And that's just me. If you can, it's beautiful. We appreciate anything you can offer, but my experience is directly from the drug use, directly from incarceration, directly from criminal behaviors at a time in my life when I wasn't clear. Thank God for, and you probably hear me say that more than once before this recording is over. God has played a big role in my life. Mm-hmm. And I also have to be clear about, I'm not a religious individual,
sure,
but I am a spiritual one. And that's where my belief lies. So
I'm sure you're asked what the difference is all the time. What is the difference to you?
So because you also introduced me with having ideologies.
Yes, sir.
And one of my ideologies is that religion has been a form of control over men for a few thousand years at this point. Yes. And that's not to say that every existence of man on this earth has had a deity.
Sure.
Somewhere along the line. So I do identify God as my deity. I am a Christian, and I identify with Jesus Christ as well. Mm-hmm. I just don't identify with the religious sects.
I understand, right?
And you know, the control application of religion.
Correct.
You know.
I understand completely, and that I felt it was very important for the listeners to know the difference in when I say the words like fellowship and things of that nature. I use those words as ways to visualize a place of like-minded individuals where there is no particular one way of thinking over another. We all have ideas and principles, as well as have learned through basic text how to live and how to be a contributing part of our society. And so that to me is a spiritual process. When we say spiritual, I mean the inner self-love within to grow.
Ah, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
And
That's
so,
what we want to talk about.
yes. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when I created the podcast 916 RN, like I said, I immediately thought of you because of all the work that I see you out here doing in the community. There are so many young men. I hate to attack you guys. I'm not trying to attack you guys. But there
Some
are.
of them need to be attacked. So yeah, because I was one of them. You know?
Hey.
I get it.
We had just briefly talked about an article I read some time ago. It said young men ages 19 to 24 are at some point in time and on some levels considered to be clinically insane through their hormones and their decisions between the ages of, again, 19 and 24.
I agree. I agree. When I did my intro and you asked for my intro, I was at a period, I was lost. Right? And so I get it. I get it. Mine was an extended lost period. I just wanted to throw that in there. Yeah. So
which does happen from time to time, you know, and in my way of understanding and way of growing through the spiritual processes, everybody has a time, a period in their life where they maybe weren't making the best of decisions, and they could have been making better decisions.
Absolutely.
But that's why I created 916 RUN and inviting to community, local people that walk among us, who have lived through it, created a pathway through it, stuck to said pathway through it, and are walking living proof that you can change. You don't have to stay stuck. And in that parallel.
Man. So and I appreciate you going along that path, because that's where for me it was necessary. I don't want to say continue to say I'm going to try to stop that. For me, I needed help for one. There were other gentlemen before me that I saw that had taken a different path.
Right.
And they were making better decisions. It all starts with, and this is just my personal belief, it all starts with being of a clear mind first and foremost.
Exactly.
Right? I'm enabled to make healthy emotional decisions, healthy physical decisions for myself if I'm working with a mind that's clouded.
Right.
If I'm under the influence of any minor mood-altering substance, I'd have to say close to 95% of the time, my decision-making isn't correct or isn't on a line where it's going to be beneficial for me.
Correct.
Right? I might get lucky that 5%. I might just pull a rabbit out my hat and make a lucky decision and somehow in there. But the other 95%, if I'm clouded in my thinking, then I'll be clouded in my decision-making.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So what are some of the activities that you take part in that could maybe guide some of the other men, I say men because ages 19 and 24 are on a college campus right now, to any of the spring breakers still hanging out here? We are here for you, okay? KSSU is open, 916 RUN, Rob G's on live. But there are a lot of men that feel that toxic masculinity is the only way.
I was privileged, and what I mean by that is I had strong men in my life, but I also had strong women. There was a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hear a lot of people, and I want to say if I can, the Narcotics Anonymous program has been like the greatest benefit I've received in my maturing as a man,
Yes.
right? Because you talked about some I could offer the young men that might not see a way. That's concerning, first off, my addiction, but secondly, on how to live, right? I didn't just have a problem with drugs, I had a problem with knowing how to live. I'm an excellent survivor, and I think a lot of young men believe surviving is living, and it's not.
It's not.
You know, there is a distinct difference. You know, I can survive with the best of them. You can drop me anywhere, 10 toes, 10 fingers, and I'm gonna make it happen for myself. It might not be the most healthiest. So, and I have to say that it might not be the healthiest, but I'll survive anywhere.
Right.
But I had no idea about the living process. I didn't know nothing about living, and what I was able to identify with in the Narcotics Anonymous program is that I saw men that had been where I was from, and they were living. They were living. They weren't just trying to make the best of today or trying to survive through the day and with hopes that, you know, tomorrow that great thing is gonna. That's not how life works. The living process is a routine.
Right.
I get up every morning and I participate in my own life, you know? And you asked about some of the things I participate in. Well, I participate in the program of Narcotics Anonymous, that's one. But from that, other avenues have opened for me.
Right.
I am a lover of the game of basketball, and I've been a lover of that since about the 3rd grade.
Wow.
And I played basketball against folks at all levels, right?
You know Bibby's our new coach, right?
Oh, yeah.
Stingers up, welcome, Bibby. Woo!
You guys, I really hope you guys do well. I have watched Bibby. So, you know, we just got into April, but I'm a March Madness fanatic. I've been watching March Madness since '79 when Magic Johnson beat Larry Bird.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, I've watched it.
You're a fan.
I absolutely.
You're a fan, yeah. I understand.
So
yes.
I watched Bibby win a championship with Lute Olson in Arizona when he was a Wildcat. So I wish you guys the best with this. I think he's a great fundamental individual with the game of basketball.
Yes.
He's not going to be very flashy, but he's not. But if you're not flashy, you have to make less errors.
True.
And I think he can relay that to his players. I think they're going to do great.
Wonderful. I have no doubt they're going to do great with the energy here at Sac State, as well as his amazing energy and his legacy as well. So welcome again, Bibby.
Absolutely.
But basketball to a pathway of staying on course to living. Just the way you said that word had so much conviction, Rob. And we're going to have to go to a commercial here in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But you said that not just surviving, but living.
Yes.
And it just felt good to hear someone say just living. We're in such weird times right now where people feel that they're stuck in a survival mode. What does living feel like?
So, living feels like participating in my family's life.
Amen.
Living feels like being available to another individual who's traveled the path that I had been on for a long time. You know, living feels like, and I want to say, because I know you said you're about to go to a break in a second. You know, I got the privilege of being able to coach youth basketball, you know, and relay what the game is, right? And people think it's just athletics, but it also teaches life skills about working with another human being to accomplish a common goal, right? And that's what, as we want to, that's what I believe we aspire to do as a people, as a citizen of what, the state of California onto the United States of America, right? We want to help each other, lift each other up.
Yes.
So
again, thank you so much, Rob G, for being in the studio with me. To all of you out here in the University Union and then the live broadcast, I'm DJ DMC. This is 916 RUN, episode 3. Welcome back. And we're going to be transitioning into more talks about some small groups that Rob and I are associated with. And that's going to be our introduction into the next segment of 916 RUN called Small Groups, Big Changes. I'm so very grateful to have Rob G here with me. We're going to let Sparky take it over for just a second, and then we have a live request. Phil Collins, In the Air, will be on shortly. Thank you so much for being here with me, y'all. We'll be right back.